Hello, everybody. It is I, Godot. And today I'm actually, as you may notice, doing a devlog, so a video, instead of just making the game on stream, as I said I would do last time. So I've got a lot of things to recap and to tell you, even before starting the proper devlog. So as you can see in the to-do, first the recap, then the devlog. Okay, so first off, new format. Yeah, this is a video. This is not a stream, as you may have noticed. By the way, I minimized this so that you can only, so it's no spoilers, right? One point at a time that you can see in the little notepad. Burp, burp. Oh no, no, that was fine. No, what have I done? Like this, like this. Okay. So yeah, there's a different format, and the reason is because unfortunately I am currently unable to stream because no stream is point two because as you may notice behind me, I'm in an unfamiliar place to you guys. It's because I'm not at home, and I did manage to bring my streaming setup, and I thought I could stream here, but unfortunately, the internet connection is just not able to do that. The download speed is fine. It's not as good as at my home, but it's fine. But the upload speed, which is quite necessary for streams, it just won't cut it. I tried actually to do part 15 as a stream at first, and then OBS was telling me that I was dropping, and I kid you not, 90% of my frames. So, with one image out of 10 showing on your screen, that would have been really choppy and not interesting. The audio was not as choppy, but still, so many chances for the stream to just crash completely and whatnot. I just felt like it wasn't worth it. And I'd rather make a video like this, and, the upload will be slow. So what? Okay. Now, I would like to say that I've continued working on the game a lot on my own side, which is what I'm going to be showing today in the devlog. And I'm actually pretty close to be done with the game. There's still a bunch of stuff in the to-do, which I'm going to show after the recap, after the devlog part, basically. And yeah, there's still a bunch of things that I would like done, but they're not that big necessary. And I'm going to keep going today right after I've done the video while it's uploading or something. Now, also, I'm back to job hunting. Unless you're an employer, you might not care too much about that. But yeah, so I'm not fully focusing 100% on the game like I used to. But at the same time, because I'm not doing the stream, like the time I spend on the game is more focused, but also like I don't have to take part of that time to like set up the stream and whatnot, right? So I'm doing a video right now, but it takes less time to make one quick video after a big milestone than just stream all the time, right? Yeah. So I'm back to job hunting. So this is part of why I want to accelerate the processes. Because I want to have stuff in my portfolio that I can show. Especially because this game is like a cool 3D game. I think it would be good in my portfolio. So I want to be done as soon as possible. So that's also why I'm soon done and why I want to be done soon. So yeah, there's still a bunch of stuff to do. Also, because I'm job hunting, I was revisiting really quick. Oh yeah. Sorry, the main job hunting point, by the way, is that if you've been following the series for Puzzle Manor, which is this current series, you may remember the last time that I streamed, which was not last Friday. It was the Friday before that. And now we're Thursday. So it's been almost 2 weeks since my last stream. And it's been about a week and a half since I was supposed to stream last. So last week, what happened is that because I was back to job hunting, I was wondering why nobody was replying to my CV. And I realized that maybe I was lacking a bit of keywords in the CV, because nowadays you don't have a recruiter looking at your CV immediately. it's actually going through an AI first, which is looking for words, keywords, and key phrases to see if you're a high potential candidate or a low potential candidate. So I think I wasn't really passing that check for a lot of companies. So I wasn't getting as many replies as I would like. Yeah, now I'm hoping for more replies to my job applications because, you know, it's fine if you fail an interview, but not even getting the interview or getting very few interviews is kind of discouraging. So this is why I had taken like a couple weeks break from job hunting, or you know, from job hunting seriously, let's say. And now I'm back to job hunting pretty seriously. So yeah, because of that, I also took some amount of time to make my everything better from my previous project, like Fruit Survival, which is the first project that I made on this channel. It was also a game, more like a game prototype though. But it took me some amount of time to do. It was in Unity. It's a 2D game. Well, it's now available on itch.io. I can show you guys. So if I go on itch.io, I said itch.io. Yep. So if I go on itch.io, boom, 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 here, Fruit Survival. So basically, oh, that's the link? Godfrost42. Okay, that's weird. But if I go like here, okay, godfrost42.itch.io. So you should be able to see my games at that link, including Fruit Survival, which you can play right here and whatnot. Just make sure that you do full screen and whatnot. So, and there's sounds as well. So I really made the game a little better. So there's a bunch of sounds and everything. Farming used to not work. Now it works. You know, a bunch of stuff like that. So this is not a devlog for this game. But I'm just saying now it's out. And the Suica clone I haven't modified yet, but I want to add some sound effects to it as well. And maybe rework the background. I think the colors are kind of confusing and making the fruits not appear so good. So yeah, I'm probably going to be reworking that one a little bit as well. So yeah. Also, part of the job hunting was to make things available to future employers, including I have just a bunch of repositories at GitHub, so I can see my profile or something. So github.com/godoscodingprojects. There's also the link to my itch.io right here, as well as a link to my YouTube channel. So this is also something that might interest you guys if you want to see the code, see stuff like that. There's also other projects on here that I'm going to be showing on this channel and continuing on this channel a little bit later. So my next project is probably not going to be game dev on this channel. We'll see. It might be engine development. So I might do some small game engine, or like maybe like a tutorial for OpenGL, like an introduction for beginners or something. We'll see about that. Okay. So that's pretty much all for those announcements. Yeah, GitHub shenanigans. And now I can basically just show you guys the rest because it's just announcement is done. So the rest is really just the devlog part of the video, which is really just showing you guys what happened. So first off, I'm really sorry to say, Miles Davis, the music is not in the public domain. So I changed him for Johann Sebastian Bach, which is right here. And as you can see, if we go inside of the game, click, boom, boom, boom. Yep, a painting of Bach, a famous classical musician. And the quotes that I'm going to be taking are going to be from Bach as well. In the original game, I don't know why I chose to make like quotes and paintings and everything of Miles Davis. Because the music that was playing here was a song from Bach. Well, I know why I chose Miles Davis is because of the quote about silence, and it was a hint to say, hey, you gotta stop the music. But I don't even know which quote yet, but I'm gonna be using a quote from Bach and just leading people to like this painting here. So whether or not the quote talks about silence, I'm just gonna be leading to the fact that it's behind that painting. So yeah, that's just the first miscellaneous part. It took like 5 seconds. I just changed the texture. And a lookable. Now, what I was doing last time, if you guys remember, or if you weren't there, I'm gonna tell you. what I was doing is, wait, just making sure that you guys can see. Yeah, it's fine. So what I was doing last time is I was working on the UI, or mostly the UI system, I should say. Wait, where am I? Oh, here. I was working on the UI system for the computer right here, right? So when I clicked on it, it opened a widget. So I had an activatable widget thing, activatable trigger widget right here, this C++ class that I put here, activatable trigger widget, and it had a widget class that it would spawn and a list of actors. So it was activatable actors. Now, as you can see, there's widget classes, so I can put multiple ones, and there's activatable actors list. So you have activatable actors for every single one of the widgets. So the way that this works is actually, if I look at the class itself, right here. So now all that I did is really just, I made this, yeah, again, lists or T arrays. Now for this one, I wanted a T array of something, but you can't do that. So one thing I found online is you have to make a struct, and the struct needs a generated body, which is kind of annoying. But then you can define a U property that you can edit anywhere, just like in a normal class. And you can define here a T array of activatable actors. And once you have this struct, you can make the struct be part of a list. Oh, and you have to use the U struct here. So basically, what's inside of a T array is something, it has to be an entity that is seen by the engine. So you can't just use a T array inside of a T array. You have to use a struct. And the struct is seen, and you can access the properties like a list, like a T array inside of that struct. Okay, so this is kind of a weird fix, but it's necessary if you want to have essentially a 2D array, a 2D T array of something. In this case, a actor pointers. Here it's fine because the T subclass of is just to say like it's a class basically. You have a class that is a subclass of uTrigger widget, and you have an array of those, so widget classes. Also, you can probably see there's now private properties. So current widget, I think it was public before. I made it private. I don't know why it was public. And then also there's a size, which is I. Well, a size T, I being an index. So the index is basically what the current widget is. Or, well, you have the current widget here, but how do I say this? You have a list of widget classes, so it's which widget you're ready to spawn. Because technically, if you want to have twice the same widget, you need to add it twice to the list. So the way that it works is, and now I'm going to show you the C++. The way that it now works is, instead of just checking if the widget exists and whatnot, I'm checking if the current, where is this? Oh yeah. So here, the code where I'm checking if the current widget like exists and whatnot. I'm also checking if it is solved. So it's now one thing that I added to the uTrigger widget. When you solve it, you set it to a boolean, which is solved. So here, if there's no current widget, so if you're starting, then you instantiate the widget. Also, if the widget has been solved, you also instantiate a new widget, as long as you're still within the bounds of the list, which is why I need an integer to see if I'm within the bounds of the widget list. And when I spawn a widget now, I spawn the widget at the position of the index. So basically you have a trigger widget that opens. So a trigger widget is basically a puzzle UI, right? So you have the UI of a puzzle opening, you solve it. If you manage to solve it, then it automatically closes. I think it didn't used to do that. Now it does. So now it automatically closes and sets itself to solved. And when you try to reopen it, it's actually just going to go, to the next position in the list. So it's going to say, oh, instead of using the current widget, you declare a new widget to be the current widget, right? So here you declare current widget to where you're at as the index. Then you give it the list of activatable actors that corresponds to its index. And then you increment I, but it doesn't matter because you're not going to get back into here. You're not going to use the index at all until you're creating a new one. So the index is really like a creation thing. And other than that, if you're trying to start the activation and the current widget exists and is not solved, then you enter here. And in here, you just add it to the viewport as I did previously. So basically, yeah, it's basically the same thing that it used to do, but now every property that it had is now a list, and there's an index to be able to keep up with this. So this way I can have multiple UIs. Also, I made the UIs look a little better. So yeah. I also fixed the computer model normals because there were places like the screen where if you clicked on the computer, it just wouldn't activate because the normals were inverted, just a classic thing. So that's the thing. Yeah, the list is fine. Oh, I also made the computer widget number 2, which is what I was about to do last time. And I did all 3 terminal widgets. Not only that, but I added some visuals to, well, as you can see here, there's like a light coming out of the screen. It's only on while you haven't completed the entire list. So once you've completed all of the puzzles, you don't see the light anymore. And here, it's not activated anymore by default. You need to solve all of the puzzles in the Manor. And then you have access to this containing, 3 puzzle screens. And there's a light that gets turned on only when the terminal gets activated. That's what I call it, the terminal. So when the terminal is activated, it will be super obvious. There's going to be a big blue light. And when you complete it, the big blue light is going to turn off. And it's going to open the elevator. So we're going to play this in just a quick second. And I'm going to be solving the puzzles for you guys. The only puzzle that's very incomplete right now is this one. Right now, to solve the puzzle, you just have to open the tomb. But eventually, there's going to be it's going to be a little more involved. This is one of the next things that I'm going to be doing. And yeah, also, I changed some of the triggers. You maybe remember activatable triggers. So now it's activatable delayed trigger. The reason why I changed the name is because it wasn't very explicit, and I wanted another type of activatable trigger, which I didn't think I was going to need at first. The new type is activatable count trigger. This one is completely new. What it does is very simple. Is when you activate it, what it will do is it will just increment the counter. And if you have reached the number on the counter, then it's going to activate the list of activatables it has. Just like any normal trigger. It's a real trigger. It has a list of activatables, but it won't trigger when it's activated. It will trigger once it has been activated a certain amount of times. So that's the big difference with a normal activatable trigger. And the delay trigger, well, now it's more explicit, the name, but yeah, it has a delay. So for example, like here, the way that I set up activating the terminal at the end is with an activatable count trigger. So here, terminal unlock, actually you have terminal counter. So terminal counter has an activatable count trigger. So it has a list of activatable actors, which is terminal unlock and terminal light pivot. So this is to activate the light, and this is to unlock the terminal. So unlocking means that the click trigger on the terminal becomes activated. Becomes enabled, I think is the word I'm using, because to not confuse terminology. So here, count to 3. It's fine. So once it's been activated 3 times, then it's going to unlock this, and this, is going to enable the elevator terminal, which is right here. And this is the click trigger, basically. It's not enabled. It can be re-triggered. So once it's activated, once it's enabled, you can click it as many times as you want, because if you enter the screen to solve the puzzle and whatnot, and you need to go see the hints inside of the level, you can come back and re-click it. So all of that is all fun and game. And you have the activatable trigger widget with, WB terminal 1, 2, and 3, so widget blueprints. And then they all have a list of things to activate. The first two ones, they activate nothing. They only serve the purpose of going to the next screen. And once you've completed everything, that screen opens the elevator door and reactivates the terminal light to close it, basically. By the way that I deactivate lights or activate this one is that I'm just moving them instantly. So this one moves instantly plus 1,000 in the air. So it goes outside the bounds of the environment. So you just don't see it anymore, and it's instant. So it looks like it's been deleted, but it's just been moved. And this one, I just wanted to use things that I already had. It was simpler like that. I think it's kind of funny. And this one, so yeah, this one, no, it's this one. When it gets activated, it moves the terminal light pivot. I call it pivot, but it's just a thing that you can translate. So I just separated the movement in two parts, basically. So here, terminal light pivot, the only thing it does is that it's super high, and then the move that it can activate is to come down. So it just comes back into place, putting the light inside of the screen. And then the terminal light, once you activate it, this one, it goes out of scope, leaving the pivot behind. So it's just a way to have two different moves. So yeah. So now if we play this, you'll see it looks pretty good, because I made a cool frame around the widgets. The content of the widget is still pretty bad looking. It's one of my to-dos. But yeah. So far, if I go here and I click, I can't click. And here I can't click. Here I can't click. Nothing's happening. Oh, I can click this. Yeah, let's open these. I'm really showing pretty much the full game as it currently stands, because it is pretty cool. Here I click, this is fine. Here there's the computer screen, there's some light coming out of it. So I click here, boom, 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 and boom. So as you can see, there's like a frame. So it really looks like I'm just zooming in to the computer screen. So submit, that's great. And now it opens this. That's awesome. If I go upstairs, I can go here, cluck, 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 and then boom. So I complete this, which gives me a hint to be able to calculate the result of this, for instance, which is a really nice 420. So I can close, reopen if I want, and I can submit. So when I submit, oh, you can see now it's closed. There's no light coming off of this anymore. And all of a sudden it opened the gate here. It also activated once the thing here. But again, if I click it, it doesn't open. I really have to activate it 3 times. Now if I click here, there's the animation happening. Also, it triggered this, well, it activated this one more time, but I still can't click it. And it unlocked this. So now, boom, I can open it. And I can go here. So you can really see it. I really can't open this. Finally, if I click here, it opens. That's great. And this one, woohoo, it has a big blue light. So it's very obvious that it's activated. Then I solve this puzzle. I submit. That's amazing. Then I can re-click this. I can solve this puzzle and submit. And I can solve this one. And finally submit. And you'll see there's not going to be a light anymore. Boom. Right? So no more lights here. And here, the elevator door opened. So like, oh. And then here I still have to click. Boom. And then it brings me up here. So basically, what I'm missing right now is really this puzzle right here. Most elements are not ready right now. So I need to program them, put them in the scene and whatnot. Also here. Oh yeah, also, no, I'm going to talk about that later. So yeah, also here, no, here it's pretty much fine. And, oh yeah, the elevator, the door is fine and everything, but the elevator itself, having to click it to go up is kind of weird. So I want to add one type of trigger, which is when you step over something. So it's basically just you know, a actor enter trigger or something. I don't know how I'm gonna call it, but basically it's like an unoverlap trigger. Maybe I'm gonna call it unplayer overlap trigger. It doesn't really matter. When you enter the elevator, then it goes up. That's the point. That's the goal. Also, yeah, what I was thinking is it's probably kind of bad to have puzzles be so linear that they happen one after the other. In fact, this probably doesn't need to have a counter if I do it in a linear fashion, but I kind of wanted to separate the 3 rooms is what I was thinking about. So I figured that I was going to put a counter because I'm going to make every room independent because the puzzles are kind of independent and whatnot. But then I was like, oh, but it's kind of cool to have a fence gate here and that kind of thing. So what I was thinking is I could probably have a cute puzzle where some candles are inverted. And I can just click them to rotate them, boom, upwards. And yeah, something like that. Like there's a couple of candles that I need to activate and whatnot, or maybe some hint written somewhere where you have to like, you know, to show that, or maybe they're upright and you have to know that you have to click them or something. I don't know. Something like that. Just add a new puzzle to open this fence gate. But also, if that's the case, like what opens this here, right? What opens this painting to be clickable? Because if I make it clickable from the beginning, players who just try to experiment and like to click on everything in the game, they would just end up clicking on this frame, you know, this painting frame, and it would simply slide and open. And then they click here and they've solved, you know, a third of the game. It's kind of, you know, for how much effort there is for this one, and even this one is a little more effort. I feel like this one here, there needs to be a way to verify that the player knows that they need to click here. So maybe something like they have to click the secret room on the map, right? Something like that. That could be interesting. So I just have like something that you can click. Oops. Something that you can click like right here and whatnot. And it would just like, yeah, unlock the door or something. I don't really know. So just adding a puzzle to that one and adding a puzzle to that one, like to make them unlocked. Because, yeah, most puzzles are in 2 parts. Okay, that being said, let's just try and see here. Yeah, I've shown pretty much all that I did. And in my to-do, so yeah, I need to add the trigger for the overlap. Wait, how long have I been recording? Yeah, almost half an hour. Okay, that's kind of what I thought it was going to take me. So uncomponent overlap trigger, so it's the elevator. That's what I mentioned. I need to add the soul and the puzzle. So basically the, you know, the downstairs puzzle. Oh yeah, the paintings, they're mostly empty for now. I still need to add a bunch of hints in the painting. A puzzle for the fence gate. Oh, also puzzle for movable painting. And while I was talking, I think I got an idea for a pretty good puzzle. You guys will see eventually. I need to add a bunch of sound effects to the game, as well as the song that plays by the gramophone. And I need to add a little like cool animation for the ending. Also, it could be nice to change the setup for computer 1 puzzle. So if I show you again the puzzle for the first puzzle on the computer, it looks kind of weird. Like it works, but I don't know how much I like this. I think I would like stuff like drag and drop reordering and whatnot. So I would like to make that a reality, but this is a maybe, you know, like the game is perfectly fine without it. The puzzle is there. You still need the same idea and same understanding, but it's in the yeah, the UI is kind of confusing, so I don't really like that. Also, um, I might want to make some custom sprites for the UI elements because yeah, we have a nice frame around the different UI puzzles, but they look kind of weird, like inside the screen. So if I show again, like the submit button is just like a gray box. The corners are not even rounded. Like the text is the text is okay. Like I don't really mind the font, but yeah, just everything looks kind of weird. It would be nice at least if it was like a little bit rounded, like the X here, if it looked like more like a real icon. And yeah, I don't really know. Like it looks kind of weird. It's really not that bad, but I would like to make it look a little better. It's fine if it's not the case, right? I think this is okay. Like it's really just the submit button and the X that kind of annoy me. The rest is fine, but yeah, that part specifically, it's kind of annoying. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Also, yeah, I guess just make game non-linear, and by non-linear, I just mean you can do the puzzles in any order. So I guess here it's like, because these puzzles, they kind of have to go with this. Yep. So this is good. And yeah, I'm going to add a bunch of sound effects. This is going to take some amount of time. And the song is going to be, it's not going to take that long, I think. So yeah, then add an ending. Add an ending, I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do this, but I have an idea for the ending and a couple of Easter eggs. So this is not going to, by the way, the ending I'm not going to present to you guys. I'm just going to tell you when the game comes out. It's probably going to have to be a download and not a web playable game. But yeah, I'm going to make you guys play it to see the ending by yourself, as well as a couple of Easter eggs that I'm going to add. So plus Easter eggs. So yeah, that was my devlog. This is how it's advancing. It's going pretty well. It's been a long time since I last worked, since I last showed you guys my work on this. So basically since last stream, but I only worked on it for like 2 days and a half, maybe 2 days. So I actually did a lot. I think I'm just more efficient out of stream. So yeah, and this is gonna be the format that we're gonna be following for the rest of this specific series. So it's gonna be a lot shorter than watching streams. It's just you guys being given some juice, but I'm not gonna be outputting a video every day. Maybe every like 2 days of works or so. I'm gonna show you guys where I'm at. And yeah, also I think one of the reasons why I'm advancing so much faster out of stream is also because it's only practical to stream a couple hours per day. Not only because like I get more tired streaming than not streaming and doing the same amount of work, but also because like I find it very impractical to stream when my girlfriend's here. Because I'm just talking out loud, and she's like right next to me and she can hear stuff and it's kind of annoying for her and whatnot. So I can pretty much just code anytime I feel like it if I'm out of stream, which is a big plus. I'm just spending a lot more hours doing that. And I used to do like a bunch of research and watch tutorials in between streams, but even then, like it's better to learn by doing, and I can make a bunch of mistakes and I'm not worried that someone's going to get bored, right? Even though my streams were never really that entertaining. I feel like focused content like this might be more interesting. Tell me in the comment if you guys prefer that kind of format. And yeah, this is my first devlog. I feel like I'm rambling way too much, but I'm not going to be refilming that one. I want it to be like genuine, kind of, you guys are with me, we're doing the thing together. No background music for this video, unfortunately. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying this series. And, if you can't usually catch the streams, well, don't worry. I'm going to be making a more condensed format like this from now on, and maybe even more condensed than what I did because I had a bunch of announcements. Usually it's going to be devlog focused. So it's gonna be shorter videos usually, maybe 20 minutes maximum, maybe more like 15 would be better. So yeah, thanks for watching. And yep, hopefully see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm going to keep working on that game. I hope you look forward to playing it. Bye-bye, bye-bye. Go play survival thing, prototype, fruit survival in the meantime on myish.io. Bye-bye. Link in the description. Bye-bye.